All right, welcome back to the channel. We've got another product here from Banggood. This is the FPV Racing Rush Lite VTX. Let's go and take a look at this thing. So what do we get in the bag? Got a VTX, a little pigtail, MMCX connector, and a little channel card here. Should be noted that this does use the MMCX connector, and it does come with a 90-degree adapter, which is kind of nice. It does fit on the standard 30 by 30 flight controller stack. And as you can see, this is a 25, 200, and 600 milliwatt VTX. It does have pit mode, so it'll go to a zero output. And it does run from 7 to 25 volts. And the output is 5 volts at 0.6 amps. So no powering a run cam split off of this, but I think pretty much every FPV camera out there, just regular standalone camera, should work just fine with this. So it does come with this really thick card. It feels like a credit card. That's what the material feels like. And it has your bands and channels on it. And oh, it's kind of neat. I've never seen this before. I don't know how much I would use this, but it would definitely last a lot longer than like the business card style ones. So what are some of the features of this thing? Well, it does have, it's very, very light. It's got a flat bottom on it. It does have direct solder pads for the power, ground, and video, and the camera output. If you wanted to not use the pigtail, it does fit directly on top of a 30 by 30 stack. Has pit mode, MMCX connector, no microphone on this. It is a light transmitter, so it's pretty bare bones. And the one thing it's missing, which I think is a very odd choice to be missing it, is any sort of VTX audio switching. So, where does that put this thing? Well, in the world of mini quads, unless you wanted to build a super light setup, which this thing is pretty light given what it is, I don't know if it really has a place. The banded channels and all that stuff are really easy to switch, which is nice. But I think this thing's use case would probably be an FPV wing or fixed wing of some sort where you don't have a flight controller. If you don't have a flight controller, then you don't have VTX audio switching, unless you're running a Crossfire, then you do with a little bit of workaround. But I feel like that's probably the use case for this, or building a super light quad. Let's go ahead and get a weight measurement on this. All right, so this thing is it's fairly light. Let's go ahead and check the power output on it, and I'll run through the features of it. I do have my Immersion RC RF power meter, so we can get some sort of tangible results out of this, even though this is a meter. It's only a sample size of 1. Same thing with the VTX. It's a sample size of 1. So these aren't concrete results, but better than nothing. And I'm just going to power this with a bench power supply. Got our power and ground. It should be also noted that the connector coming out of the VTX will fit right into most FPV cameras. So if you want to build a bare bones, super light quad without a whole lot of muss and fuss, this would be the way to do it. All right, so let's go ahead and power this guy up. And I'm going to run it at about, say, 16.5 volts. Sound about right? All right, 16.5 volts. All right, so you see there's a bunch of flashing lights on here. Now, what you have over here is you have your channel indicator and your band. And on this side you have your power output setting. The power output is flashing because it's in pit mode right now. I have no output. See, no power output. And while it's in pit mode, I can select different power levels, and it's still not outputting power. And if I want to output power, I just hold the button. And now it's outputting, it should be set to 25 milliwatts, but I'm getting about 65 right now. So we'll go ahead and put that back into pit mode. And it'll save whatever setting you selected, either pit mode or the power output being on when you cycle power. So there's no need to have to readjust that all the time. Now on this side, it's a little more confusing. So this button here, with a short press, will cycle through the channels 1 through 8. So flashing, that's 1. Solid is 2. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you kind of get how that goes. So I'm trying to be on, well, it doesn't break it down by race band and A band and all that stuff. So I'm looking for band 5, channel 4 to be at 5800. So I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4. If I long hold it, it will change the channel. Okay, so if I long hold this, that'll change that to band 1, long hold band 2, long hold band 3, long hold band 4. So that should be one more. So that's band 5, channel 4, so that's 5800. So right here, we follow our little info card here. This is band 5 by the blue lights and channel 4 by the red lights. And if I remove power and bring power back on, it saves exactly where I was. Now let's take a look at the power output on this. So right now it's in pit mode. So I'll disable pit mode. And this is set for 25 milliwatts. It's 200 milliwatts and 600 milliwatts. So it's fairly close. 600 is about 550. 25 is about 50, about 60, and 200 is about, timed out on me. 200 is about 320. Now as this warms up, that milliwatt output will definitely drop down. So we'll let it sit here for a few minutes. Kind of get it up to temperature. So at 200 milliwatts, the average output, it's kind of getting warm. So I'd say it's about operating temperature. It's about 260 milliwatts. At 600 milliwatts, it's about 480, and 25, about 45. So it's a little off, but I don't think that's a whole lot. I've tested other VTXs, other big name brands, like, you know, nothing's perfect, but based on this setup here, they're all fairly consistent. And if I hold the button, it goes down to pit mode, and there's no power output. So at a weight of only about 12.8 grams, as you see it here, full length wires and this MMCX connector, it's fairly light compared to the competitors, but it also is very lackluster. Doesn't have a whole lot of features, but the big feature I see is the built-in mounting solution. So anyways, what do I think about this? I think it's a decent VTX. It works well. But without the smart audio, I don't know if I'd recommend it for a quadcopter unless you're going for like a super light build, or this would be a great backup VTX. You burn one out at a race, pretty easy to swap this guy in. It would be great on a wing, but that's your decision to make. Anyways, if you're interested in this product, check the links below. In the comments, tell me what you think about this. What do you think about not having smart audio on a VTX these days? Or not smart audio, but some sort of audio-based VTX switching. Anyways, leave a comment in the box below. If you like what I'm doing here, like, subscribe, click that bell if you want to be notified of new videos that come out. And as always, keep flying.